Hi, I'm Roman Loyola, and it looks like Apple has done it again. They released a new M1 MacBook Pro that shakes up the industry one more time. So if you're shopping for a new MacBook Pro, you have some new choices. Let's go over the major differences between the 13 and 14-inch MacBook Pro so you can make the right decision for your needs. Let's get started by looking at the processors of the different laptops. First, let's look at Apple's newest processor in the 14-inch MacBook Pro, the M1 Pro. It's a processor designed for more demanding work, like video and audio editing, graphics, and coding software. This is a fast processor, and what makes it fast is its processing cores. It comes with either 8 or 10 total CPU cores, 2 of which are efficiency cores. The speed comes from the performance cores, and you can get 6 or 8 of them. On the other hand, the 13-inch MacBook Pro has 8 total cores, with 4 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores. It can handle the same type of work as the M1 Pro, but since it has fewer cores, it's going to be slower. We tested the 10-core M1 Pro with 8 performance cores and 2 efficiency cores, and in Geekbench 5, it had a 65% improvement in speed over the M1. The thing is a beast. But don't get the idea that the M1 is a slouch. We found that it offers drastic improvements over any older Intel-based MacBook Pro. Another way the M1 Pro boosts its performance is with its graphics processor. It comes with either a 14 or 16 core GPU. That's a lot more than the 8-core GPU in the M1. In our Geekbench 5 testing, the M1 Pro 16-core GPU doubled the performance of the M1's 8-core GPU. So if you use a pro app like Final Cut Pro, Photoshop, or Cinema 4D, you'll see tremendous performance. Another major difference is the display. The 14-inch MacBook Pro has a Liquid Retina XDR display. Then there's the excellent color and image quality. The display uses many LED technology, and it's capable of 1600 nits of brightness at its peak and 1000 nits of sustained brightness when viewing HDR content. When you're looking at standard content, the brightness is set to 500 nits, which is actually the maximum brightness of the 13-inch M1 MacBook Pro, which has a standard Retina display. If you do a lot of video and graphics work, you'll appreciate the 14-inch MacBook Pro's display. The detail is incredible, especially in shadows and highlights, and the lighting looks even throughout the display. This is the best display on a MacBook by a wide margin. There's a big difference with the ports that you find on these two laptops. The 14-inch MacBook Pro has more ports than the 13-inch MacBook Pro, which has 2 Thunderbolt USB combo ports and a headphone jack. The 14-inch MacBook Pro also has MagSafe, a magnetic power cable that can break away if it's yanked. And if you use the 96-watt power adapter, it can charge an empty battery to 50% in 30 minutes. By comparison, the 13-inch MacBook Pro charges through its Thunderbolt port, and it does not have fast charging. The 13-inch MacBook Pro is the laptop to get if you don't need to connect to a lot of devices. If you do a lot of production and rely on external devices, the 14-inch MacBook Pro is the better laptop. So those are the major differences between the two MacBook Pros. Here are a few other features to look out for. The 13-inch MacBook Pro has a touch bar, the 14-inch one doesn't. Instead, it has full-sized function keys. The 14-inch MacBook Pro has a notch for the FaceTime camera, while the 13-inch model doesn't. Keep in mind that you don't lose usable screen space with the notch there, but you might not like the way it looks. And speaking of the FaceTime camera, the 14-inch MacBook Pro has a 1080p camera with a new image sensor. It has better image quality than the 720p camera on the 13-inch MacBook Pro. Now that you know more about each laptop, which one should you get? If you just want a laptop you're going to carry around with you and you're doing general purpose work like using productivity apps, web work, and you're using Photos, iMovie, or GarageBand, the 13-inch MacBook Pro will work for you. It's light and it has a good deal of processing power. If you're more involved with production work with pro apps like Final Cut Pro, Logic, Photoshop, or Xcode, get the 14-inch MacBook Pro. Its M1 Pro is built to handle these tasks, and its port flexibility makes it easier to work with external devices. That's our guide to the 13 and 14-inch MacBook Pro. For more in-depth reviews on each laptop, check out our website at macworld.com.